YouTube friends, hello and welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to mount our through-hole fittings for our floor drains. We're not going to drain water out the side of the boat because water will come in and the floor stay wet. What we're going to do is we're going to drill through this back bulkhead, and we have some nice stainless steel 1-inch through-hole fittings, and they're going to go through here. And then there'll be a tube that'll run through the back of the transom and dump the water out with a scupper. Alright, so I've already got my hole saw fitting selected, and for the right size, this is a 1-inch. Let's go ahead and drill a hole. I already got the spot selected. This is going to be about the middle of the floor and down is where we're going to set it at. That way it'll be lower than the floor will be. So any water that comes in this corner, it'll get trapped and it'll drain out. Let's go ahead and drill the hole. Alright, that made for a real good clean cut. It looks really good. That fits in there nicely. We're going to come in here, we're going to square this edge off so this through-hole fitting will fit all the way up against this bulkhead. And then we're going to do the other side, and we're going to make the floor. We're going to put the last piece in, and I'll show you how we're going to make our drop downs for our little pockets down here that'll be lower than the original floor that'll catch all the water. Let's do the other side. Alright, now that we get that side drilled, we're going to drill this side here. We got a real nice good clean cut on this side. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to square these edges off, and we're going to start measuring for our floor, and we'll set the floor in it, and I'll show you how we'll make our drop down boxes so we can catch this water. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I need to take my sawzall and I need to cut this floor support back so this guy can fit all the way up against the bulkhead like it is. Right now it goes in and it's hitting, so it's not going back flush. I'm gonna come back about 3/8 of an inch because I'm gonna leave myself room for glass when I put in the floor and I build this area up. I'll leave myself enough room for glass, and it won't trap this guy to where he can't fit back in the hole. So let's take our sawzall and let's try to make as good a clean cut as we can. That's all there was to that. Got a good clean cut. Now that bulkhead fitting will go all the way against this back transom piece here. Alright, so we're going to do this on the other side, and then we'll start taking measurements for the floor. Same thing over here. Now we got a good opening for our through hole fitting to fit flush all the way up against this guy. All right, now we got our measurements made. We can get our next piece of plywood. We can cut it out. Let's do that. All right, now I've already cut the board out, the floor. We took our measurements. If you measure correctly, it should fit right in place. Let's give it a try. So far, so good. Oh yeah, that lays down. That looks good, guys. I think we got it on the first go. Let's see how this side looks. That'll lay down, and that's gonna lay down. If you're wondering why these edges of the board are sticking up here and over there, it's because remember we tapered these floors in this boat. The center beam, or the center stringer, excuse me, is about 3/8 of an inch higher than the other two, so it makes a tapered floor. Sawdust. That way the water will run to the edges and run down to the back and go out, and it won't stay and puddle up on the middle of the floor and keep your floors all wet. So that looks good. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our cutouts and our drop downs in the corners for the floor drain holes that we put in here earlier. I'll show you how we're gonna do that. All right, so now that we got our corners cut out, we're gonna make our pockets to go down and make this where these floor taper down to for the drain holes. And I've already made a circle for the outside edge of the through hole fitting, so I'll make sure that everything we do will stay to the outside of that. That way we won't crowd the through hole fitting once we start glassing all this floor back in. All right, well, let's make our little bottom pieces here, and I'll show you how to make it all connect, and we'll screw the floor down. All right, so now that I got all the corners cut, this is how it looks. Now I know this is all gonna get rounded. I'll put a nice pretty edge on it. This is all gonna get glassed in, and it looks really good. I set them a little deeper, that way the water will stay out of the floor. And I did the same on the other side. So that's how I do them. I've always had real good luck. When you glass them in, you can make it look real nice and pretty and make these at an arch and taper them down and glass all that in real nice and tight. So let me flip it over and I'll show you what they look like on the bottom side, how I did it. Okay, so here's the bottom of the floor. This would be the parts that are gonna face down towards the bottom of the boat. I'm just gonna show you how I made my little buckets. All they are is just made like this. This is all white wood, so it'll absorb the resin. But anyway, I just made it like that. And so, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna glass all this on the back side. I'm about to glass all this, the side. I'm gonna tie it all in nice and pretty. Same for that guy down there on the other side. And then I'm gonna paint the bottom of this with resin to waterproof it and all the edges. And then we'll put the adhesive down on the stringers and we'll flip it over and set the floor down. All right, guys, let's get the glassing. All right, guys. We're gonna glass the bottom of our floor. This is the bottom. This is the side that would face the bottom of the boat. The finished floor will be on the other side. This is our stake pockets for our drains that we just built. I tore out some 1.5 ounce woven, and we're gonna glass these guys in real tight, and then we're gonna white resin on the rest. I'm gonna catalyze with, I got about a quart. I'm gonna catalyze with about 23 cc's of MEKP. All right, we got our catalyst, our MEKP in. Let's give it a good stir. So we're gonna wet this down real good and heavy all over. Let it saturate good. We'll come back and trim the edges off. Don't worry about the edges if they hang over. Good tight bonding fit here. That's what we're after. And that looks real good for that one. Same thing over here. Get everything sloppy wet. Start laying your mat in. Tab it in real nice and tight. All right, that's set in there really good. We'll get this stuff out of the way since we're not going to need it. Now we're going to start wetting out the back of this board. Get all your edges real good too. That's real important to get the edges. They soak up a lot of resin, so get them 2 or 3 times. That's looking good, that's looking good. Get your edges. Very important on these edges to get them. Oh yeah, guys, looking great. Feel my, gotta hurry a little bit. Feel my resin starting to harden up just a tiny bit. We're gonna make it. Oh yeah, we got this one. Look at there. Come over here. Good, good, good. Nice even strokes. All right, guys. That's all there is to this. Pretty easy. Looking for little air bubbles. Get them edges one more time. That's all there is to it. Next thing is we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to stick it down on the floor of the boat. If all goes well. Oh yeah. Good job, guys. All right. We're almost there. We're almost there. Looks good. All right. that's that. We're gonna let that cure, and then we're gonna put the floor down in the boat. All right, now that we've got our little drain divots glassed in, our boxes, they're all glassed in, tabbed in, same on the other side. I'm going to take and put the floor adhesive down. I'm gonna go all the way around the edge of the boat, all the way around the edge, and then across the top of the stringers. And you're probably wondering, man, what is this dude doing here? Well, this is where your joints are. This is where your floor is gonna butt up to the next floor. You can screw in here. I'm gonna put adhesive like I did on this back side here and screw into it. So we can take and put adhesive along here. Okay, just like that. And what we'll do is when we come back with the board, we'll lay a good heavy layer on top of our stringers here. It doesn't matter. Put on top of here. All this stuff's messy, but boy, it sure holds good. And on top here, on the side, where the board's gonna lay down and screw into the side piece here. We'll put a good heavy layer there. All right, so tie it in, just like that. Come on down here with it. On the side here. Missed a spot. Just like that right there. We'll get these sides really good so they won't creak and pop. Just like that. On top of that stringer. Come on here. Good heavy bed and adhesive. All right. On the side. Let's go ahead and flip it over and set it in. If you wonder why the edges are up, it's because this floor has a taper in it. So all the water run off. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and start setting screws, and this floor will be set. That pulled way down. That looks nice. Very nice. I like the way this floor's sitting in here. Oh yeah, guys. Looks like we know what we're doing. That looks real good. All right. I'm not going to bore you with putting a bunch of screws in now. I'm going to put all these screws in. I'll show you what it looks like when we get done with it. Well, all right. The floor's in, guys. Finally, we made it this far. We've got all the floor in, front to back. Only thing we got left is come in here and fill in our gaps. And we'll do that with some fiberglass peanut butter, they call it. Fiberglass mud, chopped strand, mixed in with resin, makes it dewy. There's our buckets for our drain port holes. We will clean those up, make those look really pretty. Anyway, guys, we got a beautiful taper on the floor. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a taper in that floor. All right, that's the end of this video. Next thing we're gonna do, like I said, start filling in all these little holes where the screw heads are, our little gaps, filling around our rigging tubes. And then we're gonna start laying 2 layers, 1.5 ounce woven on top. We're gonna go over the gunnel, over the floor, and back over the gunnel. A lot of grinding and cleaning up on the sides here to do. Tie it all in, and then we'll put the tops on the transom box covers, glass all that in, cut the hatch ports, and it'll be ready for gel and web on the inside. Thanks for watching, guys, and like and subscribe. Thank you.